boxing to do, and it's going to kind of change gears of what this video represents because a lot of people don't realize that I'm very positive and I practice discipline. And I was watching a YouTube channel, and it was actually a friend of mine's. Shouts out to Terrell, aka Ufe. He sent me a YouTube to watch with Puff Daddy. And Puff Daddy was sitting down talking to a gentleman, his mentor. I didn't know Puff Daddy had a mentor. And the mentor was a guy of another culture, so to speak, which is really nice and inspirational because for me, my mentors have been other cultures or people from other culture. And it's interesting how you never know what's your spiel or what inspires you. That's why I always told my kids, like, if somebody says something to you and inspire you, it's okay. It might come, they might have to cuss you out, or it might be somebody very intelligent, or it might be somebody very silly and goofy. But people is ways people can touch you to inspire you in a good way. It's just that it depends on how you intake the information. I always had other culture mentors, Hispanic, white, of course, and Belizean, different types of other mentors from other different cultures, which was amazing to me because I think I was intrigued that that I can communicate with another culture and not just my own culture. I love my people, of course, no doubt. We mentors of each other ourselves, but I got more inspiration with other cultures because it's just intriguing to me. So I was looking at the video. Puff Daddy was talking to this guy, and Puff Daddy was a different person when he was talking to this gentleman. He was more humble. Well, he's humble, but it was a different humbling. It was like a school kid at school. And I was like, wow, this guy really, really has a very, very distinctive impression. I can never say the words right. Influence on him. And I like that. So he broke down some information to Puff, and it was in layman terms, and it was something that I understood because I express myself a lot simply. And it's amazing how I've gotten arguments with people because I express myself simply to them. So it was that simple that it made me want to argue and fuss and all that kind of stuff. But that's other stuff we can talk down the line. Matter of fact, I'm going to start saying those. I'm going to start doing those too, let you guys know who I be arguing with. I be arguing with people in the streets just because I be trying to talk. I do talk positive, and then it kind of throws them off because sometimes I'll say something that they need to hear but don't want to hear because the truth will set us free. But sometimes it's our worst enemy, and that's something I make up myself. So let me open up this book right quick because I want you guys to see this book right here. It came from Amazon. As soon as I saw the video, YouTube video, and Puff got the book signed, I said, I gotta give me one. And I'm gonna get mine as hard copy. I don't do the on the phone thing because on the phone thing, you be on the phone 24/7, which is fine. But I think if you sit down and literally sit down and read a book, it's a different atmosphere. It's a different feeling. It's a different vibe. It's a vibe as in I'll put some jazz on, have a little wine, some tea or something, or, and they say you do what you enjoy to do when you learn something. So I do that when the kids are not here. I'll sometimes read a book with some jazz on, a little wine, a little tequila and roses lime, hey, it is what it is. Or I'll get some tea, coffee, and enjoy myself reading a book. And this book is called Principle by Ray Dalio. And I hope I'm saying it right. It's Ray Dalio. It's called Principle. Now, Ray, he shares the unconventional principles of life and work that turned this ordinary middle-class kid, he's from Long Island, into one of the most successful people of our time. So this is like little books like this here, and I don't want to say little books, but books like this here can be very powerful, as in the other book I read, The Richest Man in Babylon. That's one of my books. The Secret. Those are good books that I have to read. You don't read those books just once. You read those books continuously because it's so many jewels in there. There's so much stuff you can learn out of these books. And you'll be amazed how you can read it 6 months and then you go back another 6 months and read it again. And you'll be like, wow, you learn something new because when you learn these jewels, you change, your thought process change, and then you see things in different perspectives, and it changes. And it's amazing because it can be the same book, but your mind changed. The words the same, but your brain changed. And I preach that a lot because the more I start to change and go through this transition of being somebody totally different or just being better, a lot of situations have got kind of rearranged. People, association, family, all type of stuff. So the things I go through, it just makes me stronger. It makes me realize how people can envy you or be envious of you and have more than you. It puts me in a mind frame of that you can trust, but just, use your judgment of trust of people. It's interesting. It's interesting. And like I tell one of my friends, we were talking the other day, that the journey of everything you go through is actually the best part of being successful. It's the journey. The journey is beautiful. And you're going to run through some negative things. And negative is also positive, because either two things happen with something negative. Either you don't have to do it again, or you're going to show and prove. So we talked, and he wanted to show and prove. And I said, brother, that's show and prove. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger, I hope I said it right, nigger. I don't know if I said it right, excuse me. We're going to work on my speech too. If anybody help me with speech, let me know. I need help with speech. I'm not ashamed. I'm a man enough to say my speech is very bad. So I remember hearing the story about Arnold. We'll just say Arnold. He became one of the strongest men in the world because a young lady broke his heart, and he wanted to show and prove that he was the strongest man. So that strength right there made him who he is to this day. And that's amazing. And it's okay. So if you got something to prove to somebody, they say, I don't got to prove it to nobody. Use that anger for strength and better yourself. You'll be amazed what you can do. Now, me personally, I got the clothing line going because I wasn't to prove nothing really to nobody. It was just actually, I was saying to myself, well, kind of sort of prove a little bit to certain people, but it was more to me saying that when I see myself and other people saw me, they saw me as this businessman and this guy that got this, that, and so-and-so, and I didn't. And I say to myself, like, why do they see that? Because I don't see it. You know what I mean? So I used to have conversations with people and be like, you should be a businessman and you got this and that, so-and-so. And I'm like, nah, I don't. And they was like, wow, really? No? I'm like, no. Southside dude from, Inglewood, party, drink, and have fun and dress. That's all I do. And after the conversation I had with these people, it was like, wait a minute, Cliff, if they see this within you, they believe in you, you don't believe in yourself. So my light bulb kicked in, like, you need to start changing and believe in yourself. And then what I started doing was working on my flaws. My flaws is, well, you got to know yourself. My flaws is always being shy and bashful. So I started to learn that once you start working on your flaws, that's your struggle. Some people's struggle is partying too much, drinking too much, being too nice, being mean and evil, talking crazy. Our struggles, everybody's struggle is different. We just got to figure out what our struggle is. And my struggle was always being laid back, shy, and bashful. And when I started being a little bit more outspoken, at first I didn't do it the right way, of course, and I apologize to anybody I was wrong too, but I started learning to be more outspoken in a positive way, and start speaking up in a positive way, and start making choices and decisions my way in a positive way. And I started seeing results, very good results to be exact. And that would really turn me on to being more positive and start reading more books. And like I said, I can't wait to get into this here. Anybody know I've read Damon John, I read both of his books, very good books. The Richest Man in Babylon, The Secret book. I've got a book, the Warren Buffett book. I got a couple of his books. I've read one already. I'm going to go back and read again about stocks and bonds and investment. And you'll be amazed how much you'll learn in these books. These books is very, very powerful. And like I want to tell everybody that knowledge is the best currency to have. The more you know, the more valuable you will be, and you will make more money like that. We just didn't know that. So they don't teach that in school. They'll tell you to read a book, but don't tell you why they want you to read the book, or the explanation of reading this book is not to say, well, I'm reading a book about geometry, or I'm doing math about geometry, or I'm reading a book about the man that went across the moon and so on and so on. So it's just to teach you how to get information in, comprehend it, and then replan it out. And that's all it does. It's just that they don't teach you that in school, is that you got to get certain information that's valuable to you, interpreted it within you, and then give it out. And the more you give it out, the better you'll get in life, the universe, and everything. It's a beautiful thing. So we can just pass a happy Easter to everybody. I didn't even realize it was Easter last weekend because everything is shifted right now. It's a shift. So I want to say peace and blessings to everybody, and thank you. And like I said, shouts out to Soul Fiend, Trap Monster, Ray Dalio Principal Book, and of course the Swanky brand. And we're going to continue to do bigger and better things as we grow, and plus give back. So peace and blessings. Thanks.